The year is 1471. It's a very dark time here in England, for we are halfway through the War of the Roses, a brutal civil war between the House of York and the House of Lancaster. Now here at Warwick Castle we fight on behalf of the Lancastrian army. We fight on behalf of Sir Richard Neville, the Kingmaker. It is our aim to put King Henry VI back upon the throne of England. Now we've just received news that Edward IV has declared himself King of England, and this is not to stand. The order's been passed down. We're to march on London and attack the city walls directly. Well, the walls of London, they are thick. We will need many siege machines. We will need cannon. But most of all, we're going to need that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of the largest and most powerful siege engines in the world, the Warwick Castle trebuchet! Now this is Ursa, the bear. She stands at 18 metres tall and weighs roughly 22 tons. And in 1471, Ursa here would have been state-of-the-art of trebuchet design, all because of those giant wheels that you see placed either side. Now, traditional trebuchets, they were powered in a very different way. The rope that you see attached to the arm, which goes to the rear of the machine and then into the heart, would go out of the back instead. And that there is where it would be attached to a team of horse and oxen. Now those beasts of burden will be made to walk away from the machine, use their own brute strength to drag down on that arm and lift that counterweight box up into the sky. Now that was a very good way to load trebuchet. It was actually very efficient, but it suffered from a couple of major drawbacks, most notably being that this is a siege machine. Sieges could take, weeks, maybe even months, and your men are going to grow hungry. Hungry soldiers are going to leave your cause unless you were to feed them. So that way you'd lose your team of horse and oxen to meat, and that way you would have no way to load your trebuchet. So somebody somewhere had a great idea. We're going to use the medieval wheels found in crane technology. We'll place them onto our trebuchet, and that way we can use manpower to load them. So that is exactly what you're seeing has happened behind me. We have two wheels joined via a central axle. Each turn of the wheel turns that smaller axle. The rope that would be attached to our beasts of burden now coils around the axle itself, so every turn of the wheel coils the rope and drags down that weight. Okay, and that there is what you're seeing happening right behind me. We have 4 people in those wheels, and they're lifting up that counterweight box. Now that box weighs 1 ton when it's empty. Inside that box we have placed an extra 4.5 to 5 tons worth of rock. So what you're witnessing right now is 4 people lifting roughly 6 tons worth of weight, all because of the technology in those wheels. The wheels and the medieval technology contained within. The technology that was being used to build castles, to build walls, was now being used to tear them back down again. Now the person in the back, that is our trebuchet master. And it's her job to actually control the weapon itself, making sure that it works how it should. The arm has been pulled all the way down the bottom, and she's engaged our trigger. A simple loop on the arm with a hook on the back of the machine itself to lock it into place. And then a pin goes through that trigger to stop it going off by accident, and then a chain onto the rear of the arm to make sure that even if our trigger was to fail, then our arm couldn't travel. Now the arm is down and the box is up, and it looks like we're ready to shoot our machine. But unfortunately, we cannot. You see, the rope that we have just used to power her is still coiled ever so strongly around the machine itself. So if we were to try and shoot it at this point, we would rip out the central axle. We'll throw it down the bottom of the island, destroying our trebuchet and killing our entire crew at the same time. Now obviously, we don't want to do that. So what we have done is we've made our winders turn around and walk back in the opposite direction. Now, just think for a second what life would be like for our winders inside this machine. But whilst you're walking in this direction, you're having to power those wheels. Those wheels weigh 1 ton each. But also, if you've got that counterweight box, it makes it into a very difficult job. The muscles on the back of your legs begin to burn, and it feels like you're walking up a hill which is just getting steeper and steeper and steeper. However, the worst part of the wind comes with what you're witnessing right now. Whilst they're walking back in this direction, you see the weight has been locked down by our trigger, which means they're no longer pulling against it, which means they have nothing to slow them down automatically. So those wheels, they're free to gather their own momentum. The faster our winders walk, the faster the wheels get. But the faster the wheels get, the faster our winders have to walk to keep up, which only makes the wheels get even faster, which of course starts making it a very difficult job. Those wheels are going to get so fast that our winders could fall over inside our machine. And when they do, they'll hit the ground hard. The momentum will drag them, it'll carry them around the back of the wheel until they get to the top, and the gravity will bring them slamming down upon the axle, breaking their back and killing them in the process. A horrible way to go. However, there is another big problem when riding the machine this direction. You see, there are holes on the outside of the walls in between the slats, and the light coming in through those slats is going to create a flickering effect across your eyes. That flickering effect makes you start to feel nauseous. The more nauseous you become, the more you power up. Try and get the job done nice and quick. However, that only makes you feel even worse. And you'll become so nauseous you'll fall over and you'll throw up inside our machine. Now, throwing up isn't nice at the best of times. But imagine what it'd be like to throw up in an environment where the floor becomes a ceiling every few seconds. It'd be absolutely disgusting. But now, as you can see, our winders have survived. And our winding process is finished. Our trebuchet master orders everybody out the machine save for one person. And that one person is our loader. You can see them now standing in the heart of the machine itself, underneath that 6-ton weight. And they are loading our projectile. Now, what can you shoot? Trebuchets, they were fantastic. They had a very specific job on the battlefield. And that was to make life a living hell inside cities, throwing things high into the sky and then into the heart of a place without hitting the walls. And you could shoot anything. You could shoot rocks, aiming for physical damage on parts of the buildings inside, internal structures, and trying to actually destroy things. Or you could use psychological warfare. These had massive defensive forces. If you're attacked, you kill the people. You take their heads, put them in a basket, and throw their heads back over the city walls. Or you can use the best thing that there is. You see, most medieval buildings, they were stone on the outside, but in the heart of the cities, they had wooden buildings. They had thatched roofs, just like our Victorian boathouse right here. We send over fire, and that will catch light. A blazing inferno would be enough to end the siege in a matter of hours. And that is what we would like to show you all. We want to show you what it is like to shoot a fireball! The command goes out, prepare to load. Now, fireball is placed into the trough. It's an 18-kilo rock that's been lapped in sap material and left in lamp oil all day. On the command of load, it's placed into the heart of the machine itself. And our trebuchet master starts what is one of the most important pieces of the entire process. She makes sure that all the ropes are in the correct position. For in a moment, when we pull back on our trigger, we are going to drop that 6-ton rope. If anything was to catch at this point here, then Ursa herself, she'll be pulled apart underneath her own strength. So our trebuchet master checks the machine over inch by inch. Once she's happy, she stands up to the rear of the machine. And she starts to remove those all-important safety features we put on earlier. Starting, first things first, with the chain. Then with a steady hand, she steps up and slowly removes that pin, holding the trigger firmly in place. Now our machine is live. And the only thing remaining for us to do is to pull back on our trigger, release our arm, and throw our fireball down the island. But this is a fireball. First things first, we need to set it alight. With the command, add fire. A flaming brand is placed onto our fireball in the heart of the machine, and the flames begin to build. Now this is a crucial moment for our trebuchet master. She must wait for the ball to catch light. See, if she holds on too long, then our trebuchet will burn. However, if she doesn't hold on long enough, then the ball will go out mid-flight. So she holds, and she holds. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, flying through the air at roughly 160 miles per hour, the Warwick Castle trebuchet! Now, what you have just witnessed could not be done without an awful lot of hard work. So please, everyone, fill your lungs, give the biggest cheer you have ever given for our trebuchet master Charlotte and the crew! Now, we hope you've had a great day today here at Warwick Castle, and the only thing remaining to be said is that we hope you have a safe journey home and that you come back and see us again. But from everybody down here in the trebuchet, we thank you very much. Thank you!